My response to that is it depends.
Yeah.
Because what if you're selling a ripper? Because it was to free up cash flow for other investments. I don't want to rob Peter to pay Paul, because to get out of a property, I'm clearly going to have to pay an agent's costs. I'm going to get some taxes. I'm going to have some stamp duty currently on the way back in. So I don't know, Angela, is my answer to that. Because are you at the end of the accumulation phase, about to go into retirement, and you've still got other properties? How many properties do you have? You said that you want further investments for property purchases. So I just want to be careful not to cut off your nose to spite your face. Because if you're selling properties to free up cash flow to buy more properties, that's a circular reference. But the only difference is you've just added layers of cost in that process.
I can tell you why Angela is asking this question, and that is because the most important question that she hasn't been able to answer is, does she have enough money to continue to keep investing? This is a very, very common question we get from a lot of people, and this is why we do the cash flow modelling and planning work, because it's really critical. Because if I said to Angela, I said, what if I could show you that you could do both? Like, you could keep that investment property, but over time you're going to pay off the mortgage, but you can continue to keep doing further investment purchases. Now, that would be the ideal dream franchise. Yep, I would love to see that. So that's what sophisticated cash flow scenario modeling does. It allows you to make the invisible visible, and then you can make an informed decision. Now, if that investment property that you're looking to sell is an underperformer, then that's an opportunity cost question. Now, even then, though, there's still no guarantees that the next property you buy is going to be a winner. This is always the case. I mean, no one can ever tell everyone that everything they've done has turned to gold, that every investment strategy, even the Warren Buffetts of this world, right, who have made some phenomenal decisions around what they buy, have also made some absolute clangers. No one's ever going to be perfect. So if you've got solid performing assets, or your assets been stagnant for a while, then you've got to look at what's ahead, not what's been past. You may have had an asset that's been flat for 3 to 5 years. That doesn't necessarily mean that the next 3 to 5 years is going to be flat. In fact, a lot of the research says that there's more probability that that's going to have a growth story than not, if everything around it has been increasing over time and cost of money is going down. I think it's important to understand that a lot of people make poor decisions, Bryce, when they aren't informed, and they're making guesses. You know, the classic one we've always talked about is, I thought we had to, we sold an investment property to buy our owner-occupied home. And we now, 10 years later, look at what the value of that investment property is, and we go, wouldn't that have been nice to have kept? And if they had done the number crunching, they probably could have found a way of keeping it. That's cost them hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars of wealth and obviously passive income in their retirements. I think Angela Bryce is absolutely right. Until you get into the weeds and do the modelling, we couldn't give you a specific answer. What we're saying more generally is, the reason why you think you want to do that is because that investment property may be an underperformer, and that could be right. And then you think that that money could be working for you in a better location, doing a better return. That's plausible, and that's worth considering. But if you could know that you don't need to rush and pay your own home down, but still continue investing through restructuring your finances, would you keep that other property investment? That's what a model would show you.
Yeah, I'd want to know what the appetite for debt is. If it's just a play to make sure that the debt goes away, that's not necessarily what we want to be seeing here, because we need to be comfortable with debt through accumulation phase so that we can get to the base up to a point where we can start to retire out the debt.